Hold on, hold on. Oh, this is gonna be the prelude to the episode because I gotta hold on. Did he say we call him tender? He's tender. We call him Diddy.
The astonishment, the confusion on your face right now.
Because Diddy one of them folks that you don't really. I mean, it's known, but like, ain't nobody saying nothing. And ain't no only person that's been coming at Diddy about all this recent events is 50 Cent. 50 has been
both above my pay grade.
Straight off a plane to the spot, Christian up, put on stuff, said advising me, don't get it going, let's go. I told her freedom and on, okay. Mama the shit and she know it, she ain't just talking, I got it, I'll show it, don't play. Send a boarding pass when she get bored, don't play. Country hopping in Europe, we touring, you can keep it low if they know that it's ruined, don't say. When ceramic, the heart on my blue and 6 feet, they ain't burn them out yet, these are new ones. Having motion on, that's what I'm doing, I'm trying to see if she pregnant, she going. Haters hate, that's their job, they gon' do it. Hey, I went white off a going with the Louis,
Man, 100 million took over the street with no sponsor, man. Coming through customs and flying through Cali, they checking the jet for the contraband. Bought out the coupe, shorty got grouped out. Told little bitch to stay off the gram. Don't be the first to get hit with that Draco. Soldier boy, that all be grand. Don't be playing. She holler at the moon, I be balking. I am a goon, she a goblin. Coke boy like Loon up in Harlem. Ramadan, but we ain't starving. Came out the mud on my own. That's where the Rick I don't own. Shoot your shooter out his zone. So rich that think I got clothes.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 132 of the Splash Cast, Monday Night Raw, the Around the League edition. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I am your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined, we are your HBCU homeboys, episode 132.
Did you just say a terrible joke? I think you just did say
No.
a terrible joke. Oh.
I said the same thing I've said many a time to start the show because we are doing it raw on Monday Night Raw.
Wow, coming out of the Diddy conversation, I guess.
Fair. I'll allow it. I will allow it.
There's a joke there, too.
What?
Let's get out of there.
Closing time. Last call.
Well, y'all, you know.
Homecoming leaderboard, man. Homecoming leaderboard. Let's stay on the up and up. Let's stay on the right side of things, and let's stay away from dangerous people.
Okay. Let's focus. We still trying to get these endorsements. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is when it comes to episode 132 of the Splash Cast. We do our HBCU news around the culture, our football news around the league, and our basketball news around the league. And this is an awful, as well as we do Monday Night Football reactions, as well as Hawks basketball when they're playing. All of which is bad, which is why I'm wearing an Atlanta United hat. So, with that being said,
Or the Bravos.
let's get straight to the HBCU news around the culture segment, where we got a few things we're going to talk about today. First off, HBCU homecoming leaderboard that was published 4 days ago by HBCU Buzz, one of the prominent HBCU social media accounts on the internet. Basically has HBCU homecoming leaderboard for 2023, ranking who had the best homecoming in 2023 so far. The poll ends on December 15th, so you can go vote. I'm not gonna lie to you, North Carolina Central is 1, and they have been coming back full force since the pandemic. Hampton University is number 2. South Carolina State is number 3. North Carolina A&T, of course, is always going to be in the top 5 no matter what year. Alabama A&M, Norfolk State, FAMU, Alabama State, Morehouse, and Tuskegee round out the top 10, which I'm surprised to hear about. But this is pretty dope, man. It has been kind of crazy when it comes to homecoming, especially since the pandemic.
Yes. Central quietly has been a leader of homecomings, and that's one of my super frustrations with all of this is North Carolina A&T has branded themselves very well, greatest homecoming on earth. Cool story, but I think
They
that
did
Central
for a
has
while
been
though.
but Central has been just as good, and you see right there at number 2, AHU. We spent some money this year. We doing things differently. And yeah, our homecoming has gone into a whole nother realm. And prepare yourselves for next year. And don't call me and tell me you coming to the homecoming. Book your hotel, book your travel.
Hampton has quietly as kept improved homecoming every year for the last like 5 years.
Spent that money.
They added the strawberry banks on the water Pirates Island, where you have the drones and the lights on the over the water. Of course they Hampton's strong suit isn't always the latest when it comes to the concert, but at least when we were there, the concert was cool. You would have maybe one good act, but this year they always get a lot of interactive acts for the concert, and then of course you still have the bazaar and the tailgate and the Greeks always show out. I think the Kappa's got the 2-story tailgate. The Q's got so much food. And the Alphas have a whole bunch of stuff going on too. Sigmas too. Blue Juice. Shout out to Nick. So Hampton has been kind of crazy. South Carolina State, I'm surprised to see at number 3. Just because I know all of the things that school has gone through. But for them to be at number 3, that is impressive. And of course, A&T is always going to be number 4 in the top 5. I'm surprised Howard isn't up there though. That's the one that surprised me.
Howard's another trick bag to me because you lean a lot into the city of DC for your homecoming.
Why would you not? That's like Morehouse not leaning into Atlanta.
That's an unfair advantage, I think, to like a few schools.
No, it's not.
Howard, Morehouse, and Spelman. That's really it. Even TSU, they don't really lean into Houston for their homecoming. They know that their homecoming going to do what it's going to do. They don't need. I feel like Howard is the biggest leaner. I feel like if you really look at the majority of people at Howard homecoming, it'd be locals.
I don't see a problem with that. I remember when we were in school, they bought out U Street, and you just go to you pay $100 and go to whatever bar club you want to go to. Like if you're gonna be in the city, be in the city. Do it. Why not?
I feel
it is what it is.
I feel like that gives an unfair advantage.
You can say that for other schools
and
in the country.
I also don't think that the vibe is the same. Like I've been to a lot of these homecomings.
Yeah, but even if you're that's like saying you're in the country, so you don't have no rules, so you can do whatever you want. Like, I mean, you can find an advantage for whatever you want to do. Like,
I agree.
It is what it is.
It's just, I think it's an overrated vibe to me.
As you get older, yeah. If you don't want to go out,
if you tell me, if you're talking about homecomings and you leave with Howard, I already know that we looking at two different things here.
I think it's part of. Well, I ended with that. I think it's part of where you are. Like, I don't think as an older alumni you would really go to a lot of Howard homecoming type things outside of the campus. But when you go to like Southern or South Carolina State or Alabama and all these schools that's in the middle of nowhere, you'll have fun.
And I'm there for the weekend. I mean, even Spelman, Morehouse. Like, I feel like they do lead into Atlanta, but less than Howard. Like, you're still going out there and you're getting mostly alum. Man,
that's
Howard
true. Howard had people climbing the fence. Maybe they do deserve a spot. It was fun. I think you just hate. But anyways, let's stay on Howard University swim team to partner with the movie Aquaman. As you know, Howard gained a lot of notoriety nationally for being one of the first black swim programs, HBCU swim programs in the nation. So now they're partnering and using their name and brand to partner with Aquaman in the new movie, which is out. So they will be getting what? Royalties and money, similar to what Tennessee State did when they got their Grammy. Or they get Grammy, yeah.
Hey, whatever it is, where you can get with these Marvel people making that Marvel money, then you make that happen, man. Y'all know I don't really support Howard like that, but hey, can't hate on the money. Secure the bag at all costs.
Yeah, it's DC though, but I understand what you're saying.
Shout out to the nerds.
But yeah, man, that's pretty dope, man. So shout out to Howard. All right, got past the cool stuff. Right back to football and basketball. SWAC, MEAC, and other schools. This is SIAC too. The hottest name in coaching has been Chennis Berry. He has been at Benedict. They've won 2 SIAC championships in a row. They've been undefeated during the regular season for 2 years in a row. They made the playoffs for 2 years in a row. They ranked as high as number 7 in the nation, I believe, or might be 5. He was 27-7 during his time at Benedict College. We have been calling for him to go somewhere, and it looks like South Carolina State put the bid in, and they are expected to hire Chennis Berry as their next coach to replace Buddy Pugh. Shout out to Chennis Berry.
Confirmed this. I haven't. I went to their web. I went to South Carolina State's website. Nothing quite updated, but I think at this point it is pretty much confirmed, if not 100%. I want you to know your opinion on how you feel about Southern letting this get away.
I don't know if Southern would have been able to. South Carolina State had all the leverage. He's an hour away. Orangeburg is 40 miles away from Columbia.
It's a much easier move.
If he has to move, I mean, he will. I mean, because they're going to give you a house on campus. South Carolina State already has a tradition. Buddy Pugh advocated for him. Apparently, went to the board and said, "Hire this dude." And they they got the money.
I'm picking my successor. No, it's that simple. I'm gonna pick him. Y'all done trusted me for how long? Okay, then I'll be the guy picking.
So in what I see in the comments that has me thinking this is one of the best moves in college football is you have former players from other schools, Southern University, Howard University, Benedict as well, saying he recruited me when he was at Howard. South Carolina State got one. This is a great hire, and that's all you see. And this is how you know it's a great hire. How did the SWAC let this guy slip through their hands? Mind you, he was at Southern. He was offensive coordinator when they were winning the SWAC. So and they wouldn't, they hired the other coach and they didn't hire him, and history. But I'm excited for it. We adjacent to South Carolina State anyway. Then your mama go there, my grandmama taught there, my dad grew up there.
Absolutely.
So
I'm happy for them. Definitely. That's a good alumni group. That's a well-storied school. And I mean, you look at a guy who's young, who's good, who could be there for a long time. It was an excellent hire. And me and you've been tracking this since we kind of suspected that he was going to move from Benedict. And hopefully he leaves Benedict intact so that they can continue to grow that program. And leave them in a good place as well. But congratulations.
Yeah, my final point on this is I really do think that the MEAC, if they play this correctly, because there are only, 6 teams, right, in the MEAC?
Yep.
If they play this correctly, you have a chance to rebuild the MEAC. I already said that I want Howard and North Carolina, especially A&T. I want Hampton and North Carolina A&T to come back to the MEAC. Because that would make 8 teams. If you add Tennessee State, that would make 9 teams. You have to find a 10th team, and the only team I can think about is probably a team in Georgia, Fort Valley maybe, or Albany State. One of those teams go. It was Savannah State, but Savannah State isn't that good. But Savannah State was on ESPN. They have the backing already. So, if you make that 10, and Chennis Berry is leading the charge with South Carolina State, I think that could happen. And it should happen. It should. It definitely should.
Hogs are getting smoked.
Oh, I turned
26-9.
He ain't SWAC. He ain't SWAC. Eddie Robinson Jr., Mr. He ain't SWAC.
Mr. SWAC himself.
I am SWAC. Mr. SWAC himself. He has been named a finalist for the Black College Hall of Fame, and I believe is pretty much is not guaranteed, but he is a favorite to be inducted into the 2024 Black College Football Hall of Fame. He is the active and current coach of Alabama State University. He played there in the mid-90s, then went on to play with Steve McNair at Tennessee, with the Tennessee Titans. slash Tennessee Houston Oilers, I guess. Yeah, Houston Oilers slash Tennessee Titans. So shout out to Mr. Swack himself, Eddie Robinson Jr.
Number one, thank you for that legendary soundbite. That's something we will never forget as long as we live. Well deserved. And yeah, we support all of this.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it. And next season's gonna be crazy, man. Next season's gonna be crazy. Miak
Crazy.
defense.
We talking about next season, like the season, like football season came and went so fast.
Yep. Defensive player of the year for MEAC was named Kenny Gallup Jr. from Howard University, originally from Portsmouth, Virginia. He played really well. Yeah, 7.57. Played really well, and he is a favorite. I think he's a senior. He should be declaring for the NFL, and he should be able to get drafted and follow in the footsteps of other MEAC players and SWAC players in the NFL as well. So shout out to Kenny Gallup Jr.
Congratulations.
Applause.
Oh, it's about to get interesting now, boy. Oh, y'all don't let us do nothing.
The takeover is real. The takeover is swift.
Man.
Let's go to basketball real quick. So one thing that you could talk about college basketball is that there is more and more parity every single year. Not in just women, but in men as well. Especially in men, because everybody doesn't go anymore to college for men's basketball. And the women's basketball, there is no link for the NSU altercation.
Okay. But yeah, for me in that situation, being now that you have a situation where you have so many more one and dones and power fives, they don't have the opportunity to have the continuity. So you have these teams, if you're not power five, well, yeah, you're going to play basketball as a sophomore. You're going to play basketball as a junior. You might play basketball as a senior. So you just have people who are more tenured. The younger players may be better, but the experience, is extremely valuable. So you have these type of upsets more continuously.
Yeah. You've had a few. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put this link in there better than it is now. Because we got to show that Norfolk State thing, because if you do what he did, some of these fans out here be talking.
Let some people get whooped, man. I'm a firm believer that every now and then you need to see somebody get whooped real good. So, hey, I probably shouldn't do that. I think that they should show the malice in the palace before every game. So you have a firm understanding of what these people can do to you if they really put hands and feet on you. I think if that was in the forefront of more fans' minds, they will make better decisions with their lives.
Yep. We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it. So I got it now. So SWAC, as Norwood said, we're going to try to leave standing on business in 2023. But as we know, the SWAC is standing on business in basketball. Women's basketball, November 16th, Grambling beats Arizona State. November 25th, Jackson State beats St. John's. And UAPB, Arkansas Pine Bluff, beats SMU. Men's, Southern University beats UNLV by 14. Jackson State beats Missouri. Then Southern University goes and beats Mississippi State. When I tell you, and Mississippi State was ranked number 21. So these teams, when it comes to basketball, the indirect result of the G League is that the talent pool, even though it may be less in college basketball, is definitely more spread out. So you have a lot of parity, and these HBCUs are playing really, really well and saying, well, shoot, I can stick with them.
Yeah, this dude was playing high school basketball last year. Man, I've been through my freshman and sophomore year of college. I'm an adult. And you're gonna get these type of games. You're just gonna get teams that that have more chemistry, that know each other a little bit better. And in that case, even though you might have the skill level, you just don't have the experience.
Yep. And at the beginning, you made a great point about playing each other 2 years. these teams that have all these freshmen, we just saw Bronny James in USC. Shout out to Bronny, but use the Long Beach State because these guys, especially in the SWAC and these smaller schools, they're there for 3 years, 4 years. Some of them got a COVID year, 5 years. They 24. You 18, bro.
Cam Rising been in college 7 years.
72. Y'all better talk bad about Cam just like y'all talk about Stetson.
Whoa, we won't do that now. One of them got sent home from their job.
What does that have to? I'm talking about 7 years in college. You just petty. Anyway, moving on. Also, UAPB beat Arkansas 74-70. After we made this, they won yesterday. So not only the UAPB beats SMU, they've also beat Arkansas. So when I tell you that the SWAC is playing basketball really, really well, shout out to Lights on College Sports. They are playing really, really well.
Put them girls in the tournament. Don't put them at the end, verse number 1, where they got to play Dawn. Let them be in the tournament. Let them be a regular team. Let them compete like everybody else. We put them against the greatest team to ever play basketball in the modern era and expect them to win. Hell no, we ain't that good. But I could beat some of y'all regulars. Lehigh. Send Lehigh out there. I want to see what they do.
Idaho State. That's who. Let us play them.
Yeah. Hey, the Cyclones. I don't know which Iowa that is. Send them. Send the clones. Want a piece of them.
Moving on. So Norfolk State played Illinois State yesterday, and Norfolk State won 64-58. But it was overshadowed because there's an altercation in the second half where a player, Jamari Thomas, from Norfolk State, was called a racial slur by one or two Illinois State fans that were sitting courtside. The incident caused Norfolk State head coach Robert Jones to get upset, and he walked onto the court yelling in the direction of the fans who accosted Thomas. Illinois State head coach Ryan Peden then confronted Jones at the scorer's table, which led to a larger altercation where players from both teams assembled behind the coaches. And then after it was all assessed, the efforts all calmed down. The refs ended up assessing double technical fouls, and the game continued. And Norfolk State won 64-58. How would you have reacted in this? Because I got a lot to say about this.
This is not the time to double down.
There they are right there. That's them. Oh, well, you can't see them.
Yeah, this is not the time to double down on racism. Shout out to Illinois State for keeping racism alive here in 2023. You guys are fighting the battle. The coach, it's tough because I don't know.
Keep going.
Yeah,
No, I was just playing in the background.
You're just wrong. Yeah, I would assume that he would have to know what the coach heard and what was going on. And you can't stand up and you'd have to agree with him, I would assume. I mean, all them black players you got on your team.
That's one of my points. It's wild that y'all calling the other team racial slurs and you got black players on your team. That's wild. That's wild.
We just saw that with who was that on the sideline? Was that LSU doing that on the sideline or Texas? It was Texas talking about LSU players, and I'm like, bro, look at your team. This is always super confusing to me. I will also understand that it is something that I won't ever be able to understand. And yeah, if it's time to fight, then sometimes you just have to slap people.
So I love this. How Norfolk State's coach reacted, Robert Jones. You are telling mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, parents, sons, daughters, uncles, nieces, nephews, that you are going to look after their child. You will not let anything happen to their child as they go from being a adolescent to an adult. Those are normally the formative years where you learn how to be a grown-up as well as play sports. You are going to look out for them. So for him to react the way he did and walk across the court and ready to confront it, is that probably the best thing you could do competitive-wise? No, because it slowed the game down, etc. But at that point, when you call me that, ain't no competitive-wise nothing.
Or we can all speed it up. How about that? Whatever y'all want, whatever speed y'all want to play at, I want to play at the same speed and the same area and the same distance when I start whatever y'all want to do. But once you've taken it there at that point, I'll be your Huckleberry. Let's play this game to the end. And I like that he I hate to say it, he stood on business. Say, you know what? This is over right here.
Right
and
now.
Sometimes it's certain things you just can't stand for. And I appreciate a person willing to stand up for things you can't stand for.
What I don't understand is what the other coach was so mad about. What were you mad about? Were you mad because you were losing? Were you mad because he walked onto the court and said F the game? And let me tell you something. When I watched that pit, they showed that still of the Norfolk State players behind their coach and the Illinois State players behind their coach. Illinois State, y'all ain't want them problems. They was gonna beat you.
No, because he probably thought he was talking to them. Oh, now which one of us you talking to?
They were gonna beat y'all down. And if I'm an Illinois State coach, I'm sorry, Illinois State player, hey coach, you gotta. We ain't gonna not talk about this now. We ain't gonna not talk about a racial slur going on, and then you getting mad at the other coach for getting mad.
That's a terrible reason to get your ass whooped too, boo. So you was fighting and what? And you was fighting on the side. He said what to the other player? And you fought him for that? Oh no, you might have should have been on his side.
Or at least you might have just if you didn't want to be on his side, you might have just should have shut the fuck up. That was your STFU is what you should have done.
Supposed to do was y'all supposed to super cop up and find whoever said that, and y'all could have had a moment of unity. That's what was supposed to happen. Y'all get together and beat somebody else.
You could have ran for governor after that.
About.
Hell, you could have ran for governor. Shoot. But yeah, so shout out to Norfolk State. Shout out to all the HBCU basketball programs. God, we're gonna name this Standing on Business because we've said it like 7 times now.
Nope, I refuse.
I'm not standing on business. Standing on business. But let's keep it moving with non-sports but sports news. So FAMU's cheer squad secures an NIL deal with a black-owned hair care product called Miel Organics. It is a 3-year partnership with the popular natural hair care brand, making them brand ambassadors for the company. The $250,000 deal includes product sampling, activations, and social media campaigns, marking FAMU's cheer as the first hair care brand deal and providing an opportunity for the team to embrace and showcase their natural hair.
I love this.
If you remember back probably about 10 episodes ago, we talked about some of the HBCU cheerleaders when they were going at it, Hampton and Howard, and a lot of them had natural hair and they were wearing their natural hair. Why are these games on TV? But so shout out to FAMU for embracing it and leading the charge. And you know what happens when one school gets one, now everybody gonna get it. Everybody's gonna start getting hair care product for the cheerleaders and all of that. So go ahead, man. Tell me what you feel.
For me, I support this. The natural hair part and the team sport, showing that we can be active. It just seems like a perfect partnership. They get the opportunity to be brand influencers. You're on a college campus. You're probably an influencer already. And they get to make some money, man. And, cheerleaders got to go everywhere the other sports go. And if you're going to be there, have your opportunity to make your money as well. I support this. I feel like all black hair care brands and all of that, they should be looking for an HBCU to sponsor.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. And to be positive, this is definitely recycling the dollar amongst the community, which is what everybody talks about. Man, but how do y'all let this be the first one?
Sponsorship, NIL, right there for the marching force. What's it? Ebony Fire. There
Ebony
we go.
Fire
right
and
there.
Blue Thunder. Yeah, he was trying to think of that name. All these names they got.
And you better not say the wrong one. That's the reason I was like, all right, you got for a second here.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah,
I ain't really jumping there to help you. I was like, you better figure it out, brother.
Yeah. But yeah, Ebony
shout out
Fire,
to FAMU, man.
That'd be fantastic.
Shout out to FAMU. Other news, NFL star Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, best known for being drafted and playing out of Tennessee State. He played from 2004 to 2007 when he was drafted number 16 in 2008 and had a 12-year career. he ended up going back to school and graduating from Tennessee State this past weekend. He is excited. As you can see, he has it all on in terms of his number 45, as well, his old jersey, as well as his hat, his graduation hat with the tassel. So shout out to Dominique Rogers-Cromartie.
Anytime that people are graduating specifically from HBCUs, we're going to keep that in the highest of lights. Congratulations on this hell of an accomplishment. And yeah, you're right. These games today are crazy.
Awful.
And childish.
Ain't no crazy. They're awful. They are sane and awful. And finally, talk about HBCU graduates again this year with the most student athlete graduation success rate amongst HBCUs is Jackson State University. 89% graduation success rate from the 22-23. So they continue to graduate athletes at record rates. What happened? I don't know which game you're watching.
But Trey ejected and hit the referee with the ban on the way out. You know what ban stand for. Congratulations, Jackson State. Congratulations on continuing to keep the focus on the reason that you're there as a student athlete, student first, athlete second. And the rest of y'all schools, hey, man, look at that. I mean, in this case, I hate to say it, but Hampton, hey, man, we had a lot of eligibility issues to start the season. Like, you need to be looking and learning from these programs to see what they're doing to keep themselves in this level.
Hey, man, maybe in the near future, I ain't gonna say near future, but maybe in the future we can get a Splash Cast forum with some of these presidents and athletic directors so they can, we can get all of them in a room and you can tell us, what you did. That's the part of why you have teleconferences. Shout out to my big mama. She had one in South Carolina State for 60 years. That's why you have all of these workshops so that you could replicate some of these results. So shout out to Jackson State for graduating 89% as Norwood looks sad. But yeah.
I just watching Trey foul bait and you like, bro, they can see you. They can see you, man.
Yes, sir. But, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the HBCU segment of episode 132 of the Splash Cast, the Around the League edition, Monday Night Raw for the culture. We'll be right back with our football segment, Heisman Trophy announcements. A lot of football went on this weekend, a lot of football, and then we'll round out the episode with our hoops as well. This is why we can't, don't see why we can't start with our own almanac. You're right. We'll be right back.
They said Trey Young was arguing with the refs that Kadarius Toney wasn't on sides and got ejected.
We'll be right back.
Yo, I love the internet, man. Y'all a special place.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's not where I thought Nicki and Drake were going. I saw that. I was like, I'm going to pass the Barbie. You know what I mean? She ain't, I like her, but I don't listen to her that much. But woo, that's a slap right there, though. I see where you going on this 24 pack. I see where you going on this one. This is a wind down.
We getting towards the end of the year. Rappers have, I guess, went home and done being gang members for the year, and they loving their families and spending time doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot more R&B. We're going to get looks like a scissor project here to end out the year. We're going to get this Kanye and Ty Dolla. And I'm going to tell you right now, just like I told y'all in the group, if it's Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign and Backstreet Boy samples, he finna make y'all hate music. Because he going to make y'all like him again. He going to make y'all buy Adidas again.
Dog.
I'm going to tell you now.
I don't know what song Offset was playing on the stage, but that song is
and
fire.
He got another one with Future and Ty Dolla too. I mean, I'm gonna tell you now. Y'all say what y'all want to. Y'all might not like Kanye for any of his affiliations or the things that he says, but one thing for sure,
that man know a beat machine, don't he?
He gonna make that slap now.
It is what it is. But y'all know what it is with episode 132 of the Splash Cast, Monday Night Raw, the Around the League edition. We just finished our HBCU news around the culture segment. We are now back with our football news around the league. We always start off with our NCAA football. It is officially the beginning of bowl season when they start giving out all of the awards. There were many, many awards given out. Excuse me. Offensive lineman awards, best tight end award, Biletnikoff for wide receiver, DBs, etc. Marvin Harrison Jr., Brock Bowers, Cedric Van Pran, all of those. But of course, the granddaddy of them all is the Heisman Trophy, aka the quarterback award, and it turns out that Jaden Daniels is the Heisman Trophy winner. Let's see if we can show Mr. Daniels a little bit more respect.
Look at our quarterback. Look at our future quarterback right there. Look at that.
You think it's Jaden Daniels?
I'm just gonna keep saying quarterback so we get one of them. I'm a firm believer. You just got Snake. I got some more fire this week. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep speaking that into existence until one of these quarterbacks mysteriously appears. So yeah. Oh, they had to have like a meeting at
Quinn.
Court.
Yeah, they were talking. Whatever Quinn said pissed them off. Yeah, that 30, you right, Sneaky, that 36 pack gonna be fire. Cause I played 3 songs. I skipped the Marsha Ambrosius song because it was a little slow to get, but I'm gonna play that at the end though.
That's the new NBA commercial song. I'm the greatest. Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of that.
But Jaden Daniels was announced as the Heisman Trophy winner. He got 503 first place votes. He won by 300 points over Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jordan Travis. So shout out to Jaden Daniels. Not too long ago, he transferred from Arizona State to LSU, and there was a viral video that went out when he transferred of all of the players cleaning out his locker and saying, "Hey, clean his stuff out. He sucks anyway." And then
funny story.
He gets with
funny
a good offensive coach
story.
And he wins the Heisman down there at LSU. So what does that mean? And I'm gonna talk about you for the guy that posted it. What that mean? You ain't really doing much. So that means he wasn't the one that was terrible. It might have been you.
And if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Especially sure as hell don't talk about me. But that's all right, because it's very tough. My hands are full carrying this Heisman Trophy. See you later.
And my bank account about to be full after being this first round draft pick. So, Jaden Daniels has played his way into being probably a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the league in the draft. I think it's Drake May. Of course, it's Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr. But that 4th quarterback is between him and Bo Nix. And
let me tell y'all,
wherever he is, he's the next iteration of quarterback.
Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Jaden Daniels. Now, you get any of them other 3 trick bags, I'm going to show you to the Mitchell Trubisky's of the world. I'm going to show you the Danny Dimes of the world. I'm going to show you the Mac Jones of the world. And all of those guys we knew was trash. Before they got there, they should have already been in Ziploc. But somehow, it happened.
I think Bo Nix is probably more like Will Levis. But in terms of the way the quarterback position is having to evolve in the NFL, because defensive ends are basically power forwards now, you can't have a statue type quarterback back there. And the way Jaden Daniels was playing, I don't know what speed program they got down there at LSU, but he looked way faster than he did. He was at Arizona State, and he looked fast at Arizona State, but he looked more composed. He had better athletes around, although we'll get to a graphic in a second. But he played really, really well, man. He broke all of Joe Burrow's records. When you do that, then at that point they got to give you something. And there was no really standout leader. There really was no standout leader this year, and he came on strong.
Yeah, and if you really look at the stats, they say he won the Heisman like games and games ago. So yeah, it is what it is on that.
I agree.
I didn't know that he was that good. I didn't know that he was playing that well until Caleb Williams kind of fell off. Then they showed you Jaden Daniels' numbers, and it's like, oh, my bad.
Oh no, I
I
knew what
wasn't
was going
familiar
on.
with your game.
He was when he went for 600 and something yards in like game 2. I was like, whoo! And he had Malik Neighbors. What's interesting about this though is he transferred from Arizona State in 2021. That team under Herm Edwards had Jaden Daniels at quarterback, current Heisman, Ricky Pearsall, Florida's #1 receiver. They had Ricky Pearsall. Johnny Wilson, who just declared for the draft, a 6'7" hybrid tight end at Florida State, who's probably going to be a top 3 tight end in the draft this year. Rashad White, who now plays, we just saw him play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Up close and personal.
And then they had Chip Trayanum, who right now is transferred to Ohio State, who is now looking for another team. And then they had Jalen Conyers, who plays for Michigan right now as a starting wide receiver. That team that Herm Edwards had was loaded, and that dude, number 21, is asleep. Oh, my Lord.
It's Herm, we're a big supporter of you, but sometimes we got to be real, too. And this is too much. You can't do this. This is what got Mac Brown fired.
This is what gets
everybody
fired.
Just let it.
You can't have 11 people on the team to go to the league.
I will respectfully digress. You're right. That gets everybody fired. And Will Levis, boy, you better hope somebody blocks for you or your career going to be show.
Because Bradley Chubb is pissed.
My back is broken. Spinal.
Yeah, they could have been playing. You're right, Sneaker. They could have been playing for Herm. Cam Rising announced that he's returning for his 7th season of college football in 2024. Rising was in the same class as Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson, who are all in the league right now. But he will be playing again. And this isn't surprising because he blew out his knee. And when he didn't come back at all, I was like, oh, they're going to he's coming back. And the NIL makes this an easy decision because he's probably going to be the highest paid Utah athlete. And they all just got trucks. I was
about to say, got them trucks. You know, I drive the truck for another year for y'all. You sure right. Hey, what you be out there with the youths? Yeah, man, congratulations. This is a guy who I've been following for.
That boy said, congratulations on your 7th season.
Yeah. I mean, this is a situation where Florida beat them 2 years ago. We started the season with them this year. They beat us this time. It's a good football team. It's a program moving on the up and up. And I like Cam Rising a lot. I like the backup too. They found a way to get good to decent quarterback play, or really whoever they roll out there. I think that he also understands that he could probably be a 1st-round quarterback next year. I think that I don't know if he was gonna make it this year. I feel like
I like his age might scare a lot of people because he's gonna be 25 when he goes to the draft.
All of these guys now are transfers and older. One of the things that we've talked about is the shortage of quarterbacks in the NFL and in college football. I think they say out of the five out of the 7. Was it Heisman Trophy candidates? Yeah. Out of the last 7 Heismans, 5 of those have been transfers. So that means you're dealing with typically a little bit older guy. And I think that, at that position, you have to get through your maturity stage. You have to begin to really understand and develop as a football player. And I think that I'm not against it. I'm not against letting the quarterbacks mature so that they come into the NFL and play and be successful. Because otherwise, you just end up and you have to be better now because the expectation is higher and you're going to a bad team.
I think it's a little different. I 25, you are basically, once you get to your 2nd contract, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, teams are, ideally, when you find your franchise quarterback, you're looking for him for 10 to 15 years, right?
You're going to get that 10 years. Even if he started 25, you give him to 35. Quarterbacks play to 35 all the time now.
Not the way he played.
I mean, but I mean, I will say, look at which I don't know if this is the right answer or the wrong answer, but like a guy like Russell Wilson, he's not your stand in the pocket and be a statue. He's active. He's had a pretty long, decent career. Who else as of recent?
Your tone changed a lot when you was talking about Stetson Bennett in 7 years. Now you talking about Cam and Cool 7 years still playing all of that.
Oh,
stuff.
no. I'm only clowning Stetson because he had this job and then got sent home. I'm gonna laugh.
Even before he got sent home, you were talking bad about him for being. You was like, he's 25. He's 25. But now you're like, nah, 25 is cool. It's cool. It's okay.
But I also think that Cam Rising is there because he was hurt. Stetson was there because he was leaning on the everlasting.
What does it matter? Yeah. 25.
I disagree there.
We'll see. Anyway, moving on. You wanted to talk about this. So USC wide receiver Brendan Rice has declared for the 2024 draft, NFL draft. He is the son of Hall of Famer Jerry Rice. Both him and, ironically, Frank Gore Jr. are eligible to be drafted and have declared for the draft this year. So this is interesting to me.
Oh, all 49ers. 49ers.
49ers need him too. They need another receiver. They need a bigger receiver like him. He's 6'3". They need another receiver like him.
I think that Frank Gore would be an excellent tandem back to deal with Christian McCaffrey. And I think that Brendan Rice as your wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 would be excellent, especially as a team that's got a lot of money already kind of tied up between Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, let him learn from these guys. You already know what he comes with as far as, work ethic. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know where he gets picked, but if he's still available, yes, 49ers. And the belief that Shanahan can really make a player into something a lot better than most people have seen. I think that he's I think that all of them are perfect candidates for the 49ers.
Yeah, they'll be pretty good, man. They'll be pretty good. So shout out to them.
And do Jerry a solid, man.
Y'all do need him in Dallas, Frank Sneaky. But it's interesting that we are now hitting our generations and the generation that was right before us. We're hitting all of these players that we've seen play. All their sons are starting to play basketball now or play football or whatever. Frank Gore Jr., Brendan Rice, Bronny James. Like you're starting to see Carmelo Anthony's son, Kyan. Oh, you're starting to see so many these sons starting to get into the league. So we are now entering a new generation. It's kind of crazy.
Let me tell y'all, this football foolishness. Both of these games are tied 7-7. Both of them are doing a lot and nothing at the same time. And Jordan Poole, 3 of 11, 11 points, 0 rebounds, minus 30 for the night. People just, is it Monday the 13th?
Oh, man. Speaking of college football, so I've said this on Saturday. Norwood didn't believe me, or he might have believed me. I don't know. But Trevor Etienne is leaving the University of Florida. He has been the best player on that team by far over the last 2 years. He will leave with 2 years left, and right now he is projected to go to either Ohio State, Georgia, or Alabama.
I don't know what to say to that. I would be trying to get the hell away from Billy. I'm trying to actively get the hell away from Billy Napier. He just happens to be the head coach of my team, and I can't transfer. If there was a fan portal, I would be looking for it right now.
There is.
Zambia was good.
What's up, Zambia?
I'm happy and I'm sad. I think that he's a very good running back. Hell, I think that he's pro ready, to be completely honest with you. And I think he'd be an addition to anybody's running back room. But also, I would hate to see him in a Georgia uniform. That would really hurt my soul.
If Georgia start picking,
I want to give him all the respect in the world. That kid is a good, tough football player. The Etiennes are running backs for sure.
If he goes to Georgia and Georgia starts picking out of the transfer portal, like really going in like these other teams, they gonna change the rules again. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and all them start getting into the transfer portal like they other teams are. They gonna change the rules. But anyway, We are going to now go to the NFL. We had Thursday night football. Nobody cares about that game. The Patriots upset the Steelers. I don't know what you could call an upset, but I will say that Bill Belichick finally started Bailey Zappi instead
No,
of
call him Taylor Zappi. He ain't got no name either. He'll be looking for a new team next year. Bro, wherever you go, they're not going to make a jersey until you get there. Don't worry about it.
But it's funny that they pulled a Key and Peele. So you see how he greeted Bill O'Brien, gave him a hug and everything, gave Bill Belichick the high five and shook his hand and was like, "That's it."
He's in the military. Thank you, soldier.
He
But
got the military cut.
The reason that this is so crazy is Bill O'Brien, notoriously terrible coach. Bill Belichick, notoriously legendary coach.
Message him, Sneaky. Send him a message. Tell him to log on.
Oh, you're right. The eggs. It's just interesting, their interaction here. But I think that this kind of speaks to the issue that Bill Belichick is going to have and is having. Just this is your quarterback. Y'all won a game. He shook your hand like you taking his daughter out for dinner and you met him for the first time.
I mean, he's 70. I mean, Bill Belichick, that dude is 20. He's 70.
Need to go. What that means, he need to go home because he's not going to be able to relate to these players. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to be a good football coach in 2023. So yeah, either you got to figure something out. But I think that overall, they'll be looking for another quarterback. I hope they draft Drake May, and just do this again.
Now, I will say you need to put some respect on Bill Belichick's name, though, because that defense has been defensing. They've been playing well. Their offense has been awful, but the defense has been playing well.
The Brady way.
Yep. So now that we got that out of the way, Sunday, we had the games of the week. I guess you could say, well, we know what the first game of the week was. This game was such the game of the week that they gave the other two teams. They was like, y'all going to play it on Monday in a doubleheader game, and then the other team, we just going to tell y'all be off. The Washington Commanders are off, and the Giants are playing right now in an awful game against the Packers on Monday Night Football in a doubleheader. It was not even a doubleheader. It's just both games are on at the same time. Because
I don't know what the NFL, they mismanaging. These are, first of all, these should have been Saturday games. Army and Navy was the only team that played on
Thursday JV game.
And hey, you played the other field. Don't tell this good field. There's people gonna play football here. This good. But yeah,
that's why Sneaky want to say where Kev at. Oh, you talking about Cowboys? Eagles smoke.
These two games, there should not be a Monday night doubleheader. You shouldn't be splitting your audience and making them watch and try to watch two games. Number one. Then these two games, definitely the wrong two games.
It is. But we did see on Sunday Night Football, they got it right. Cowboys, Eagles. The Cowboys had been saying the whole time since they played the Eagles that they felt like they could beat them. And a lot of players and a lot of commentators, a lot of experts said the same thing, that the Cowboys, even though they lost to the Eagles, they lost because of a lot of mistakes. Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes in the chat. They lost because of a lot of mistakes. They had like the botched goal line stand.
You know, when somebody say, "I pray we see y'all," he believe they can beat y'all ass.
Kev with the concede. The thing is, I want to commentate this. That's a concession statement. Glad y'all won y'all Super Bowl. That's conceding the jokes. That's like Josh with Joe Flacco. Only one stat matter, the Super Bowl. Yeah, whatever. Joe Flacco's not better than Matt Ryan. Josh, you're out of your mind.
Drugs. I wouldn't even have that conversation.
AJ says Sneaky going crazy. But back to the game, the Cowboys made a statement against the Eagles. They won 33-13. Hey man, CeeDee Lamb is making me out to be a fool every week, and I can't believe he threw an interception. Will Levis. That interception was so awful, Will Levis. But anyway, CeeDee
Levi's.
Dak Prescott. We are now at the end of the season to where you start trying to like really needle down who is the who is the MVP front runner. I think Brock Purdy has been it for a while, and he played well. But Dak Prescott is leading the league in passing touchdowns, and he's still under 10 interceptions. He's at like 6 now.
Hey,
Cowboys making a
You
lot
know
of people
what?
eat crow over here at the
4
Splash
games
Cast.
left. 6 interceptions on the season. Now, I said one thing that I try to come here and do is be transparent and pay the debts that I owe. When I'm up, I'm up. When I'm down, I'm down. That's just who I'm going to be. As far as this is considered, Dak, you have held to your word. You have been efficient. You have been effective, and they have been preying on your downfall. The world has been preying on your downfall.
Been standing on business.
And you've been right there at Jerry World with
Sneaky, you right. Sneaky, get it off. You were right. Go ahead.
Including Cowboy fans themselves didn't believe in you. I don't want to beat the music out. The jazz is funny.
Y'all, listen. Y'all got to get
on.
on this chat. Y'all got to get here during the day, during our lives. If you're listening, this is hilarious. But yeah, man, the Cowboys 33-13
for Utah to have the jazz. There ain't no jazz music in Utah. But yeah, I got to give Dak his credit, man. And I think that he deserves the MVP because of all the hate he's had to go through in order to get here. Nobody has believed in Dak. I don't think that Jerry always believes in Dak.
I mean, he's come up short when it mattered now.
Well, Jerry, you'd have gave him barely a little piece of receiver now.
Yeah. I mean, Dak, what I like about Dak this season, he said what he had to say at the beginning of the season. He said what he had to say after they lost. The last thing he's really said was, I'm pissed off about playing the 49ers. Had that game, and then they ain't say nothing else after that. And as Sneaky can say, that was a point that I was going to make, Sneaky, our resident Cowboys fan. They got rid of that offensive coordinator and Mike McCarthy. This is redemption for this team. Because I forgot about Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, he was on his way out. He's like, I'm going to call the plays. And all of a sudden, they look pretty good. And the Eagles defense
who gonna give Dan Quinn a job? Come on now. Somebody else do it now. Dan Quinn deserves to be an NFL head coach.
The Chargers.
I love to see that, boy. Burn that right on back up.
Yeah. Now, I will say they have made great additions. Of course, Stephon Gilmore was a great addition. Y'all forgot that he was Defensive Player of the Year just like not too long ago. And A.J. Brown called him old, and Stephon Gilmore basically shut A.J. Brown down. This is when he called him old and was talking that trash, and he kept talking to him. And then all of a sudden, A.J. Brown got a little mad because he was getting locked up. He was getting locked up by Stephon Gilmore, caused him to fumble in the third quarter on the opening drive. That pretty much sealed the game because I believe that was the opening drive, and Philly was already down 24-6. And when they fumbled, that was it. So Stephon Gilmore played a hell of a game.
Philly, I don't know what to say, man. At one point I thought y'all are the second best team in the league, and now this doesn't mean that y'all aren't the second best team in the league, because y'all could very well still be the second best team in the league. Cowboys are notoriously tricky. They are notorious for showing up on a night like this, and I said that going into the game. I have to pick the Eagles because that's the right bet to make. But the Cowboys can show up and be this team for a little bit, as long as it's not when you need them to do it. And I mean, Sangoon, you got murdered by Wemby. The boy did a degree commercial. Put you on his arm. But this doesn't mean anything to either one of these teams to me. Eagles, as long as y'all kind of get it together, y'all will be okay. Cowboys, show me what it means when it means.
The Cowboys have kind of stumbled upon another gem They got this USFL kicker, Brandon Aubrey, who never kicked in high school or college and played soccer. And then all of a sudden, he decided to try out for the USFL. He got a job. He was a software engineer. And then he trains with a kicking coach for 3 years. He trains with a kicking coach and is drafted to the USFL as a kicker. And then a year later, he signs with the Cowboys, and he hits 2 59-yard field goals or 50-plus yard field goals, including a 59-yard field goal against the Eagles. Hey, man, dreams do come true, I guess. You got to have a lot of nerve to quit your job as a software engineer and train for 3 years to be a kicker.
He can always go back and engineer more software. Let me try this one time. Hey, this leg gonna kick for us now. So think about a kicker. He might not. He probably good. I'm probably not going back to no more software.
He could probably kick for another 10 to 15 years.
20. Be out there like Morton Anderson.
Morton Anderson.
Kicking for the rest. Yeah. Kick for the rest.
What's the dude that had? What's the dude? The last dude that ain't wear no shoes. The Vikings. Gary
Anderson.
Yeah, he had no shoe. He used to kick barefoot. Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
The Panthers are sad. Ooh. But yeah.
But yeah, I love people who, I mean, he's never played football before. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just go out here and nail it. But I also don't understand why more soccer players don't do this. I grew up with a guy, and he was our kicker, but he just never considered even kicking for college. He was like, no, I'm a soccer player. Oh, well, cool. I'm trying to
not pay.
Get to this money. Yeah, exactly. I also want to make another statement. Looks like an AT&T Stadium employee was arrested for letting in ticketless fans in exchange for cash. Jerry sent them fans after him, apparently.
Oh, you said arrested. I thought they were going to say fired.
I would assume both.
Jerry said, nah, give me the money. I want the money. You can go to jail after you give me my money.
Jerry probably would. Jerry would be the one. So how much did you make? Just bring that to me. Fine.
Oh man. But that was a crazy game, man. I watched the whole game. Cowboys versus Eagles. It was an eye opener. And I think the Cowboys earned a little bit of respect. I think they earned a little bit of respect because
he can't go lie.
Huh?
He said he can still be a software engineer. You think I'm a kick and make this money and go to work?
No, you pay somebody else. You just run the company. But that's out of there. The Eagles the Eagles have a lot to look at. Their defense. We talked about this defense and how they drafted Jalen Carter, who did have a fumble recovery for a touchdown. They drafted Jalen Carter, but this Eagles defense, I think I said this to you. They're secondary for sure. With losing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yep.
By losing him, he was the young guy back there. Their corners are old. Darius Slay looks like he is running a 4.6 instead of a 4.3 like he used to run. He looks old. Bradbury is physical, but he's getting beat, and they can't tackle. And they're missing a lot of. Now they did just sign Shaq Leonard at linebacker. I don't know if he played this game, but I expect for him to at least improve the tackling. But the Eagles defense looks old. They look old, and the Cowboys look spry.
They need to have that Brian Snitker conversation where you have that coming to God, and y'all have to figure out, hey, we need to be good again.
Like right now.
Right now. I don't know if y'all need to know it. And then Snicker, you could run by Atlanta. Yeah, Bogey had 37 tonight.
Bogey?
We cut it to 7.
We lost.
We cut it to 7. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna lose.
Oh, the game is still on? I turned it off when Bogey trying to get
125 to 118. Oh, somebody finna get traded. Know it. I told y'all who it was gonna be.
Now I gotta watch. But the second game of the week was, there were a few games of the week. A lot of 49ers Seahawks. I saw a lot of that game as gonna be good. But everybody was talking about this Buffalo versus Kansas City game. That Buffalo versus Kansas City game, of course, Kansas City and Buffalo have had epic battles between Josh Allen. Basically, for the last 3 years, you would probably say this is a battle of the top 3 quarterbacks, 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, or whatever you want to call it. Yep. So, this game was pretty good, and he said he's the NFC East Eli Apple. Sneaky is just going in on the Eagles.
Dog, I gotta let you now, Kev. You're probably the wrong person for this, but the Eagles fans have started to get like Cowboys fans, and you know exactly what that means. But I was like, whoa, now, y'all doing all right, but let's also keep this thing in bounds, and I'm kind of happy the Eagles have lost. Just need a little bit of wind out of their sails. I don't have no beef with y'all. Y'all know that's not a team I hate, but I'm gonna be real. Y'all had you start smelling yourself a little bit. Back
the Bills in Kansas City played. The Bills ended up winning this game 20-17. Josh Allen outlasted Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs got a problem because they got no receivers. They have
zero.
Absolutely. They got Rashee Rice, but he got hurt.
He's
and
not
after that, it was
he's
like
not ready to be a wide receiver one, man.
Yeah, like it is ugly. Now
Mahomes
the Bills
is good, but
weren't great. Now
don't Aaron Rodgers Patrick Mahomes. Don't lean on his skill set to the team's detriment, to where you just think he just make magic happen. You need to make sure you provide him with appropriate people around him in order to be competitive. This is the Jerry Jones that y'all doing right now, where you're trying to roll your quarterback out there with no wide receivers and think that it's gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen, dog.
Now the Bills had to win this game. They are kind of in their season. 6-6. They're 6-6, and they've outgained their opponents total by like 1,000 yards this year. They are 6-6, and they are one of the most underachieving teams in the league, and they needed this win. I was trying to pull up the stats because the Bills didn't have the greatest game either. I mean, to be honest, it was kind of a mid game.
It's a dogfight. Yeah. It's two teams trying to figure themselves out. That's what it is.
And the Bills ended up almost getting their heart broke again. If it wasn't for Kadarius Toney lining up off sides. So Kadarius Toney, if you look at this play, if you're watching, this was the play at the end of the game, 1.5 minutes left, down by 3. They throw the ball to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce then, who this was not scripted, sees Kadarius Toney and laterals the ball back to Kadarius Toney, and he scores what seems like the go-ahead touchdown with 1 minute left, breaking the Buffalo Bills' heart again. Look at Josh Allen's face. I mean, at that point, you just have to be sick. You have to be sick. You have to be sick if that happens, and then it shows that Kadarius Toney lined up off sides, and I've actually never seen this before, where they call offsides on the offense, but it's because he lined up in the neutral zone, and basically that was the end of the game. They couldn't get it back.
This is
ugly.
You're on the blue line, bro. JaVale went multiple places and won chips. Kadarius Toney was at the right place at the right time for one chip. Now, I like KDT a lot, but at the same time, you're in a very interesting situation right now, my friend. You can't keep making these type of issues. And can you pull up the clip where it shows where he was outside 4 times?
So
now, I will say, as a person who's actually played the position before, where you're standing and trying to judge the ball is extremely difficult. You're far away from the football. But what you're supposed to do is look to the
check the referee.
Now, I don't know. Yeah, now I don't know. I'm not a professional football player for sure. I don't know if the referees in the NFL, they're like, hey, man, you got to figure it out. I would assume the referees are pretty accommodating because you're far away from the ball, especially if you're on the opposite hash. But if you stand there, you tell them, hey, I'm on the line or I'm off the line. Either I'm on the line or I'm in the backfield. But I have to establish where I am. And typically you look to the ref and he'll tell you like you're good or you're not good. And that's where some of the controversy is they're saying, should the ref have told him or is he supposed to know? And it's a tricky situation because as the player, they're going to say you're supposed to know. But if you ever actually play the position, it's very difficult to tell.
First off, there's a few things here. For Patrick Mahomes to argue and say you need to let him play and this is a terrible call, you're basically asking him to not make a call. The correct call. This is the correct call. You are offsides. To be offsides 4 times tells me 2 things. The refs are not there to help you. And because normally the refs will, hey, back up, move up, put your helmet back on, all of that type of stuff. They before they make a game-changing call. But that tells me that Kadarius Toney didn't check with the ref every time.
True.
The problem is the refs didn't call this 4 times in the game. Yeah. They only called it once. So you now set precedent. So, and that's why Patrick Mahomes is upset, and that's his argument. Like, you didn't call this all game. You didn't tell him to move back. You didn't tell him to move forward. He's offsides.
He
nothing.
Could have been like, all right, well, I tried to let y'all make it. I mean, it's so tricky because you got to, until you're out there in that situation, it's difficult. I see so many people like, hey, how do you not know where you're at? Well, you go stand 30 yards away and tell me if you can see. Mind you, there are people standing right there and you don't have a ton of time to get set and get ready.
Yeah, I just feel like the refs dropped the ball because they didn't allow him. They didn't tell him. If you would have told him, hey, and they made this call all the time, then yeah, but you can't. And this is where I get it. They said that there's no warning required, but this makes it look like point shaving because you didn't make this call all through the game. I agree that he's wrong. I agree that Kadarius Toney blew it. I agree Kadarius Toney needs to do some soul searching because you've now been a problem in 2 places. As well, really 3 because you had drops at Florida. So you have all of
and this season he might have lost. Like now that you kind of put it in context, he dropped that game winner, and then you fucked this game winner. I like you, Kadarius, a lot. You're a Gator, but it's only so much bumping that somebody can do before they say, "Hey, man, what the old people say, enough is enough. Too much stay."
Yeah, you're getting mad that the refs didn't make the call the whole game and that they shouldn't make the right call at the end of the game. You're going to lose that argument every time.
Yeah, you just got to shut up.
But when it comes to this game, Kadarius Toney, you got to figure it out, man, because this was a hell of a game. And then at the end of just to say, pulling a D Ford. Yeah, ooh, sneaky be coming with them historical jabs. Woo. At the press conference, the ceiling fell while they were doing the press conference. That's how much this season is falling apart for the Chiefs right now. They just happen to be in a terrible division. They're only 1 game above the Broncos. Boy, he got out of there. You saw Chris Jones leave? He left immediately.
He's probably. Oh, that's a sign. I don't have to stay here no longer. If the ceiling is the roof, I'm out. That's all I was waiting. Anytime I can find any excuse. Oh, I mean, just like everybody else work. Oh, the system down. All right, well, I'm gonna go to get something to eat.
The Chiefs gonna end up being in a dogfight with the Broncos for the AFC West, and there's gonna be nothing that you can do about it because the Broncos just blew out the Chargers, another team. The Chargers, another cursed organization. The Broncos are 6-1 in the last 7 games. They're 24-7. In the AFC West, and it is now come down to the Broncos and the Chiefs for the AFC West. Who would have seen this coming?
Nobody believed in the Broncos except for the Broncos.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't. I sure enough
Sure
didn't.
didn't.
And the
Didn't even
Broncos, the thing
consider it,
is, Russell
honestly.
Wilson is playing like a dog, and they just beat the Chargers. They play the Lions next, then they play the Patriots, then they play the Chargers again without Justin Herbert, who I believe is hurt. He's having surgery on his index finger, and then they play the Raiders. They could very well end up 12 and
Oh, that's past.
11 and 6. They could end up 11 and 6 and win the division.
This year, defense is making it where nobody getting blown out for the most part. These defenses have figured something out this season. In an offensive league, for the defenses to be standing up like this is kind of amazing. Look, Tennessee, the Dolphins. They're in a dogfight with the Dolphins, right? I mean, with Tennessee right now.
Mm-hmm. The evolution of defense is for real. The evolution of defense is real. Go ahead.
I mean, this is the year of the defense. And I know that, prepare for rule changes. One thing for sure, these low-scoring games, they're gonna take the walkie-talkie out of the defense. They gotta find a way for offense to score more points. So they're gonna make some rule changes. They're gonna find a way.
You can't touch them. You can't touch nobody on offense, and they still whooping them. Speaking of defense, I'm gonna say it right now. This is the best team in the league. The best team in the league right now is the San Francisco 49ers, and they beat a surprisingly good Seattle Seahawks team who was hanging with them until DK Metcalf got ejected. Stupid stuff. But funny caption, bye-bye birdie. The San Francisco 49ers beat Seattle 28-16, and if it's one thing San Francisco has done is they beat all the good teams. Anybody you've lined up in front of them that's supposed to be good in the NFC, they have either beat them soundly or demolished them.
Shanahan is the man. I keep telling y'all that. He knows something. He knows something. He can do something. It's something about that coaching tree. They have the ability to coach differently. They have a much better ability to identify talent that specifically works for them. I don't know how to identify what they see, but they see something different. They get all of these players are playing like world beaters. Somehow they've managed to do it with Mr. Irrelevant is their quarterback. The last man in the draft.
MVP finalist.
It's the ability, like, we Falcons fans, man. We happy when as long as the number one hit, we mostly happy. Everybody else kind of get it how you live. We feel like we got lucky with Tyler Algier. We happy with Bijan, Kyle, and Drake. The 49ers hit on everybody they pick up.
Offense, defense, and special teams. And they lost their number one cornerback in the first quarter after DK, and it didn't matter. Like, they have all pros. Ooh, Danny DeVito, touchdown. They have an all pro everywhere. Fred Warner and Javon Greenlaw are insane together. That defensive line, Chase Young just gets in the way. Chase Young, they probably not gonna resign you, big dog, unless Nick Bosa says, "Hey, we played together."
Hey, you can't get it done in San Francisco, son. You're not getting it done nowhere. You know what that means? You'll be in a Falcons jersey next year, big dog. We love an edge rusher who just can't get to the edge nor rush. So come on to Atlanta, and then after that, your career will be done. But
he does nothing. I watched him. I specifically watched him. He doesn't have any moves. No spin move, no rip, no swim, no club, no chop, no nothing. He has no speed. Okay, too big speed rush. He has no speed rush.
Our edges don't never be edging.
Be dull. But there was a play in this game that it was the turning point in the game. I referenced it earlier where DK Metcalf got into it with Fred Warner. For some reason, Fred Warner says, I told him he tackles really well, and for some reason he didn't like that. Now, we're going to play this video. Well, they're not going to show the video, but he definitely did not tell him you tackle really well, because DK, who has been sign languaging.
I think he did tell him that. This is I laughed at this because it was very reminiscent of the way that sneaky jokes about Anthony Richardson be able to tackle. That's what I really loved about it was I was like, damn, they stole my man joke. But
They did.
I told y'all this about DK. He can't run around. So, I mean, sure, is he big and fast and strong? Yes. But unless he's running straight, it's not a lot that you really need to be concerned about. He can't catch that well. And honestly, he gets a lot of penalties.
He does. He gets a lot of stupid penalties. So, I mean, the NFC is wide open. I ain't going to say it's wide open. It's a 3-team race, really, for the best team in the league. And they're all in the NFC because the best team in the AFC is supposed to be the Chiefs. No, Baltimore, Miami, and all this team. But I think the NFC teams can beat all of these teams if they have defense.
Miami over here with Will Levis right now.
Yeah, he about to go down and score, too, while y'all playing. Throw into the running backs. Tennessee special.
I don't know what running back that is.
Dude from Tulane.
Here, you should have took your ass to the Dallas.
Dallas Cowboys.
Your ass anyway.
In other news, man, the Taints beat the Scrubs. The Saints beat the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are now 1-12. Bryce Young is back there. He's already small, and he's back there getting just absolutely destroyed by that offensive line.
Yes, they get back.
And it's 28-6. The Saints won. And the reason we're talking about this is because there is a 3-way tie for the NFC South with the Buccaneers owning the requisite tiebreakers. And everybody is 6-7, except for the Panthers, who are 1-12. Everybody in the AFC North is 7-6. So we would be anybody from the AFC North could just win the division in the NFC South right now.
Well, also, I hate stuff like that. Oh, there's no winning team in the NFC South. 7-6 and 6-7, boy. Y'all cousins.
That's your first and second. First remove, second remove.
Y'all daddy's brothers not going out there and play now. We was just 500 last week. The team ain't changed that much. Quarterback still suck.
Yeah. So that was interesting. In the worst game of the season by far, the Oakland Raiders played the Vikings, and the Vikings won on a game-winning kick, 3-0. It was punt, missed field goal, punt, half. Punt, field goal.
Those games be the games that feel like 3 hours. The game is an hour, 60 minutes. But if all you doing is running and punting, oh, man, this is a slog. And, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. It's terrible. God awful.
You know why I mentioned that? Because Josh Metellus is playing his ass off for this team. Strong safety, free safety, left cornerback, right cornerback, slot cornerback, left inside linebacker, right inside linebacker, middle linebacker, left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, right defensive end, left defensive tackle. If you going to play me at all these positions, you going to have to pay me something. I need to get paid something more than just one position. There's no way. And then in a 3, can you imagine playing all these positions in a 3-0 game? Offense,
no,
this
is
this
season. This is this
I know,
season.
but still, I know it's this season, but it's not like he was permanent at one. I guarantee you, he played strong, free, and linebacker.
I have a couple questions. I've been in enough football practices to know. All right, individual defense. What position group you want me with, Coach? I play tackle. I play interior lineman, exterior lineman, linebacker, interior, outside, and I played in the secondary. Where do you want me to go, Coach? At this point, he should be a coach. He got to be able to coach because I got to know what everybody on the field is going to do because y'all don't know what position I might play. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit more context. You're probably like, oh, he's probably got to be probably like 6'3", 220. Nope, 5'11", 207.
Fast. To answer your question, he goes with the DBs. He's always going to go with the DBs, and then he'll probably go with the linebackers during defensive install or whatever. But that's about out. The whole playing defensive end, I don't know, man. Y'all kiss my ass. I ain't gonna tell you. They got DJ Wanham and all them other 6'5", 272-pound
Now,
dudes, and
I
you
will
all
say
put me
this
a
is
D in
probably like he
a sub
probably
package.
played the defensive lineman positions and like a prevent.
Yeah,
You
sub
can put a
package.
guy there who's fast, but still you got to know what you're
5'11",
doing in that
207 at
position.
defensive anything line. I don't care what the sub package is. That's tough. Y'all better pay
And
that man.
I'm a firm believer of be open and available to play in the NFL. If you're always ready to play and you know what to do, they will find a way for you to get on the field. It also made me feel bad because he's only 5'11", 207. Like, it's a regular human.
um, moving on, finishing up the NFL, finishing up football. We tried to tell y'all that there were a little bit of upsets on the way that could happen. I said I was real close to picking the Bears because the Lions have been in a free fall. I was real close to picking the Bears, and the Bears ended up winning 28-13. And that Lions defense doesn't look great anymore. That Lions offense, Jared Goff has come down to earth. Justin Fields' price just went up because him and DJ Moore seem to be really connecting.
That's our quarterback. That's our quarterback. I'm happy to see our quarterback flourishing for another team right now, going into next season. I'm excited to see Justin Fields as an Atlanta Falcon. I think that he provides us with a lot of escapability and opportunity to really watch his offense flourish. I'm going to just keep talking about positively about quarterbacks on our team until one appears.
The Bears have a lot of money, a lot of draft picks. Remember, they got 2 lottery picks now, essentially. They're going to have like the number 2 pick overall, I believe.
Would you like 3?
And they seem to have a budding star at wide receiver. They already have Cole Kmet at tight end. They gotta get a running back, and they gotta get they got some filler pieces to fill in. But the Bears are set up pretty well to make worse than
would
first.
you be interested in the number 17 pick?
Because that's what we're going to have if we win this division.
Boy, I'm going to tell you, the Atlanta Falcons will love nothing more than to give you that 17 pick for Justin Fields. I love to see them do that for you. Yep. Let help us help you be the Bears that you know how to be. Then you could draft Drake May. You could draft J.J. McCarthy. You could draft Bo Nix. And then you can hoard all of the mediocre quarterbacks who will never amount to anything. You can have them there together. You have a little pizza party every Friday. Your quarterback room can look at each other and be like, "Oh, we the Spider-Man meme." So yeah, let us help you create a collection of quarterbacks who are not going to win games.
Yep. So the NFC is game of upsets, more upsets. Now, Joe Flacco is really more of the story in this win than the Jaguars losing. Trevor Lawrence, we saw him. We saw him he has a severe high ankle sprain. All of that stuff came into the game, and you were going against this Browns defense. To put up 27 points against this Browns defense is a feat in itself. But to give up 31 points to this Browns offense and Joe Flacco, whew.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now.
AFC North is a dogfight.
I'm going to tell you something right now. We're going to look back. Ooh, almost had that touchdown, buddy. Y'all going to look back at this season, and I want y'all to remember that Joe Flacco played better than Deshaun Watson in the year 2023 of our Lord.
For 200, for 50,
I ain't
for
see
$40
that
million
on
less.
Bingo card. I ain't see that on no bingo card in my life. that Deshaun Watson and Flacco will play football at the same time, and Flacco will be the better football player. But yeah, Flacco's gonna have a better season than Deshaun Watson. Prayerfully and thankfully happy that we did not sign Deshaun Watson. And Cleveland, hey, tell me what that cap hit looks like. Been there. Got more, still won less. Hey, good luck.
Yeah, man. So the AFC North, you got the Browns won. The Bengals, kind of in a shocker. 34-14 over the Colts. We were just talking about Gardner Minshew and the Colts. We was talking about, was it Browning was the quarterback for the
Yes,
Bengals.
sir. He gonna sham it. He got the Gardner Minshew. I could smell it on him. He gonna sham himself into a job next year too. Jake Browning, 18-24, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, no sacks. Let me tell. Oh, he also had a rushing touchdown. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All y'all at the end. At the end of this season, I'm gonna tell you, if you're not looking for Gardner Minshew, honestly, I think Josh Dobbs in the right situation, and Jake Browning. Oh, Raiders, just get one of them. Get one of them.
Josh Dobbs.
Oh, 49ers. I mean, not 49ers. Yeah, 49ers. Y'all should get one of them too. You never know. You might need a quarterback. And I know you could make one of these guys.
Nah, 49ers, y'all need to go ahead and stick with Mr. Irrelevant. Y'all tried to go that route before and traded all them picks and and it didn't work out.
God, dog.
You forgot about
Trey Lance. Man, Brock Purdy did to Trey Lance what Kyler Murray did to Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
He put that man on a milk carton. Who? Who do you speak of?
You forgot all about it.
I've never heard of a guy named
And
Trey
he's
Lance.
in Dallas. The quiet thing is he's in Dallas, the most media frenzied team of all time. And you ain't heard of people.
You know how good you have to be to silence a quarterback that was paid, which cost 3 first-round picks and then traded to Dallas. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Bucks and Bulls, they are in a dogfight to the very end here. He's a little Purdy. That's funny. Brock Purdy is Bill Belichick with Tom Brady. I don't know how good he is, honestly. Shit, it looked good. It's working. But at the end of the day, do I really believe in Brock Purdy? Do I think that Brock Purdy is good on the Raiders? Oh, no, I surely don't. Not even close. But I think Shanahan is the football maker.
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy.
Shanahan is the football maker. I think McVay, they going to make players.
Purdy just makes the right decisions. I watched that game too. He didn't make everybody's always good. You're always with a Shanahan offense. Somebody is always going to be open. You just have to find the window in the timing. And he gets it 100%. Every single time. They got Debo Samuel said he scored on that time. He scored against Jamal Adams. He said, I didn't even think I was getting the ball until I looked back and I was like, oh, he threw it. He threw it. Oh, he really threw it. And he was like, oh, let me go get it. And scored a touchdown. So will Purdy be good on the Falcons? No. I think he would be better than Ritter.
Better than what we got.
Yeah, he'd be better than what we got, but wouldn't be good.
Oh shit! And then shock himself.
And then to wrap up the AFC North, in a dogfight, another game that I was like, hey, this could go either way. The Ravens beat the Rams. Puka Nacua out there playing in the rain with no gloves. Playing out of his mind. Cooper Kupp playing out of his mind.
BYU. I played in Utah, boy. They barely let us wear gloves.
I played in snow with no gloves. I'm sacrilegious. No, that's not a joke. My bad. If you didn't get the joke, you didn't get the double entendre.
Yep, we don't have no podcast. We made it to 132 good episodes.
Gloves are not. All right.
Wait. Hey, before we get out of here, like, follow, subscribe before Reggie tear it up.
But yeah, so the Ravens play well. 37 points. The Ravens offense seems to be starting to click. I don't know what game you're watching.
Vito just chucked him one down there to a receiver whose name I don't know. You play for the Giants. Assume I don't know your name. Sterling Shepard, is that you?
Oh no, not Sterling Shepard for real.
You name it could be Plexico as far as I'm concerned. Now I don't know who that man is.
Number 17
on a flea flicker.
On the video games, we call that the player. The player. But anyway, let's stay on topic.
Your family is very proud of you, sir.
The Ravens ended up beating the Rams 37-31, and they are back atop the AFC, I believe. Zay Flowers had a good game. Odell Beckham caught a touchdown while running the wrong route. And I will say this Ravens defense, though, I think you said Kyle Hamilton had a sprained knee. I'm interested to see when he got hurt because 31 points, they don't normally allow this many points.
Yeah, they're dealing with some injuries. The defense is supposed to be better than this. But so, hey, I mean, it's like, to me, it's okay. Sometimes the defense can't be there every game. The defense has been pretty solid, but you're right. In this case, they just didn't have it, but that's the reason you have a quarterback like Lamar. Also, DeMar DeRozan just sent this Bulls-Bucks game into overtime. The Bulls are better without Zach LaVine. I'm sorry, he's finna be traded. As soon as he's healthy, he is traded.
Little tryout. They about to trade, but they ain't gonna trade one. They gonna trade them all.
No, they're not. They're gonna trade Zach LaVine because the team plays. It's like it looks like they don't like him.
I'm not surprised. And then finally, our last game in football, the upset of upsets. Zach Wilson apparently told DJ Reed in the locker room before the game that he asked him, are you nervous about getting the start playing against the Texans? And for the first time, his response was, well, hell, what's the worst that can happen? I get benched again. I've been benched twice and demoted to third string. And then y'all cut the dude that y'all promoted above me. Like,
I'm not going to have this job next year.
I'm not going to be here.
And I'm about to get fired. My days are numbered.
Touchdown.
My time here is dwindling. I hate to tell you, it don't matter. Whatever y'all want to do, these people going to keep handing me these paychecks. I'm going to take them until I can't get them no more. But let me tell you, it ain't going to last long. No matter what we do going forward, I'm not going to be on this team next year. The team hates me. My coach said he can't even justify why he's starting me. He just doing it.
And let me tell y'all,
hey,
the Jets about to spend all they free little money on the offensive line. Ain't going to be enough money left for anybody named Zachary Wilson. But they ended up, when he said,
wait, money left? You've been stealing from them people since you got that job. It's about time. It's over. It's over. It's for sure over.
He said, I don't care. I don't care. And they ended up winning against the Texans 30-6, and the Texans were a hot team. Now I will say, C.J. Stroud went out the game. They hit C.J. Stroud, and his head hit that turf, which everybody says they hate that turf anyway. That's where Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. That's where everybody gets hurt, on the Jets turf in the Meadowlands. Jets Giants turf. So the Jets defense and Robert Saleh, he has them. That defense has made mediocre out of everybody. And y'all still lost to Desmond Ridder. But anyway, y'all won 30-6. The Jets won 30-6, and they are still mathematically in the playoff hunt. Or Aaron Rodgers still gonna try to come back.
Yeah, you're right. There only been two teams that were eliminated. Patriots. No, is it the Patriots that have been eliminated? And definitely the Panthers.
Yeah, they're like 2-. That's why I was so crazy that they beat the Steelers, because they're like 2-8. Like 2-9.
Look at the Steelers. The Steelers been stealing.
Yeah, that's what happens. The Steelers and the Falcons, when you hit your wagon to the wrong quarterback. But, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the football segment of episode 132 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition, Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back in about 30 seconds to a minute. Listen to the Splashcast 36-pack. We'll be back with our hoop segment. Always remember, do what, Norwood?
Like, follow, subscribe. Tell a friend. See you soon.
Tell a friend. See you soon. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final segment of episode 132 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition, our basketball segment.
Spring roll around and y'all see Reggie somewhere with a drink with an umbrella in and doing a two-step to that. Don't say nothing.
Prepare to be sick of me.
Keep it moving. Boy, eyes up and keep it moving.
That might be the song. Bro, I might be playing that to clean up with till I get out the country. But with that being said, man, let's get to the hoops, man. We got a few things we're gonna talk about before we get to the NBA and the WNBA and the women's college basketball. We're not talking about men's college basketball, but
never will we. Games
not
we
until the
respect.
tournament.
Play like a woman.
There was a big brain move in the Euro League where team was up by 2, and instead of trying to make it, the guy shooting the free throws just missed it intentionally to get the ball back, which caught the team off guard. If you're watching, you can see it. So he missed it intentionally, got the ball back, and ran the score out. And that basically was like a genius move by him. And they ended up winning the game. I can see the reason we're showing this is because if you see this in the NBA, because all sports is just a copycat league, this is where that came from. Missing on purpose to get the W is pretty tough.
It is, but
Could go terribly wrong.
There are a couple things here. Number one, he saw everybody was asleep. If you look at this, they're not really paying attention. They're not in.
He is
just
right there. He went for the rebound.
But these two guys are closest to us. They look asleep, and it is a skill to do that. Everybody can't do that. If you can't shoot a free throw well, you surely cannot make sure that you bounce the ball off the rim and it comes right back to you. Now, for the elite level player, like, this is a Kyrie level move right here. This is something you believe Kyrie would do. Now, a lot of these NBA players not going to do that because it's going to mess up their shooting percentage, but it's a different conversation for a different day. Yeah. But, yeah, I love this. This is elite basketball IQ as far as I'm concerned.
It is, man. It was tough. They were big mad over there, too. They were big mad the other team.
Oh, boy, that's going to be a tough. Hey, when you get to that locker room, boy, that coach finna let you know everything. That's the problem with y'all now. You don't pay attention. You ain't paying damn attention, son.
Speaking of not paying attention, man, if y'all remember when in the Final Four of the women's basketball last year, it was South Carolina #1 versus #2, Iowa and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, who is known for her I don't want to say antics, but they are, because if it was somebody else, they would call them antics. For her antics on the court where Raven Johnson, the point guard for South Carolina, was known that she really couldn't shoot. So Caitlin Clark was not leaving the paint. If you're watching, you can see her hit her with the go ahead and shoot move. And basically, they were basically not guarding her. And as a result, Raven said, I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that video went, what'd she say? That video went viral, and I had to deal with that for the whole off season. And she said, this is my revenge tour, and I got something to say. Boy, Levis he don't care about throwing the ball now. So now Raven, who was shooting 36% field goal percentage and 24% from 3, is now shooting 56% from the field and 48% from 3, and has South Carolina looking like a for real juggernaut, because now they don't really have a weakness at all, and she's shooting off the dribble. This is a meteoric rise when it comes to shooting. Look at that.
This is the reason that you have to love women's sports, because they're willing to put their ego aside to get to be better. The not always being like helicopter parented, like giving your way all the time. It creates this grit. Like, I hate to go back to like a person like Ben Simmons, but this is what it is. She was like, I was getting my ass kicked on the internet. I was legitimate self-check.
That's a great reference.
No, you
Simmons.
good.
That was a great reference.
And she took that personally, but she didn't cry about it. She didn't whine about it. She said, oh, you think that you can leave me out here and I won't learn to shoot? Nah, she learned to shoot. They was just joking about Blue Ivy with the same thing, talking about, the internet. When she first started performing with her mom, it was all, they were very, they took a lot of shots at her. Mm-hmm. But she listened to what the internet said. She wasn't a chump about it and grew from it. Same thing with her, man. I appreciate and like this stuff way more than these entitled athletes whose game never changes. You never get any better. You just stay who you are forever.
This is definitely a shot at Ben Simmons. Like you said, there's no reason that
throw Zion in there too.
Well, Zion averaged like 25-8. Him is more about weight. I'm just talking about the skill. Ben Simmons, the skill wise, Ben Simmons was being treated the same way as Raven. They weren't guarding him. They were like, hey, he was just like, they were telling him, just go to be the center. Just stay at the rim. And she was just like, nah, I'm going to shoot. So why can't he do the same thing? So I think this should be taken as inspiration. Hopefully some of these other NBA players who can't shoot can get better too.
Absolutely. This is the stuff I like. And this is the reason I like women's college basketball and I don't like men's college basketball. Hate me. I don't care. My show, I do what I want to.
So the in-season tournament just happened. Funny story. They had the semifinals and the finals since we left. Semifinals was the Lakers versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And they basically said, have you thought, in a pregame conference, press conference, Brandon Ingram and Zion were asked the question, have you thought about how you're going to celebrate if you win? And both of them made a laugh as if there was an inside joke. We all know what the inside joke was because there is a podcast episode with Zion as the podcast cover. So we know what the joke is. We know what the joke is. And it's funny. Everybody says Zion is a freak ass boy. The comments.
I really think that. Can you play it, number one? Or will it take us out? Hopefully it won't Chinese weather balloon us. But this is good comedy.
Like to have fun. Have you thought at all about how you're going to celebrate if you're able to pull this off?
Man. Nah, we ain't thought about it, but I know it's gonna be a good time.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
This looks
Zion
like
said,
a
"Yes, This looks like
straight
this looks
to
like
DVD
ooh.
BET movie Vices. Where you have
the
two
Divx.
friends who
You
have
remember the
different
Divx?
vices.
You had to play it on Divx because you couldn't play it on with no DVD
Yes.
player.
Exactly. And yeah, you have two friends, they have their vices, and then they just happen to be professional athletes. I could write this in like an hour and a half. Man, I could write it in 30 minutes with ChatGPT. And yeah, this is the movie that I want to see.
If you think Zion ain't already got the script wrote, we done seen Act 1 and 2 already. We know what Act 3 or 4 about
that's
to
a
be.
whole different type of movie. No. Mine is not for mature audiences only. Oh my goodness, he hit a circle on you, my boy. But yeah, mine is maybe like somewhere between PG-13 and maybe rated R. Nah, but the movies that man makes are for adult audiences only. And whatever happened to her? Since we talking about that, where did she go?
Who?
I can't Google that on my phone, but
Who?
was she silenced?
Who you talking about? The Mills.
See,
the Mills, Eminem.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Y'all see what Reggie did right there. Oh, who you talking about to just disappear after tearing up the world and Twitter and the NBA for a solid week and a half?
Well, they silenced her. They were talking about legal action. And they sent her paperwork and she was like, I will not be silenced by the paperwork. And then she got silenced. They said, you going to have to, nope, not going to make that joke. Not going. Woo! God,
that baby should be due by now, right? She should be.
If you break that silence contract, it's going to put a whole lot of extra work in. She was
pregnant. The last words that we heard from her was, "I'm pregnant." That baby got about 36 months.
Who believed y'all? If you're pregnant with Zion, baby, ain't no way you can hide that. Shit.
All right. In-season tournament, Lakers. Richie just dead.
Zion, 400 pounds. They still, Stephen A, as Kev said, Stephen A said the chefs in New Orleans love Zion because he will always eat at the table.
I remember there being a gentleman who told y'all that a 6'5", 275-pound point guard a small forward doesn't make sense. Here we are umpteen years later, and it still doesn't make sense.
So the Lakers won the first ever in-season tournament by defeating the Pacers. Rui Hachimura up there looking like Batman. If you can see this, graphic, a lot of these players, the smaller players on the graphic, are your two-way players, the Lakers, and a lot of the teams in the in-season tournament that made it to the knockout stages, brought their two-way players, contract players up so that they could get the earnings. I think we talked about it before, how the difference between hustling in the G League and making it to the league can get you from 37,000 to millions. Well, some of these guys are going to make 50,000 and now they have a $500,000. And the Lakers won it, and they are actually going to hang up a special in-season banner to commemorate winning the inaugural in-season tournament.
Hey man, I believe in it. I believe in it like I believe in the Washington football team stuff. Hang that banner up. You don't know how long it's gonna last. At any point, they could take it away. You might be the only in-season tournament winner. You might only be 3 or 4, and then they might not ever happen again. Boy, they missed that field goal. So yeah. Now I will say it's tricky. This is probably the worst case scenario for the in-season tournament. We got really good basketball. I think that it looked to be very legitimate, but you know that the Lakers are kind of they're a high media team. The Lakers don't end up looking like anything in the end of the season. This is going to be an issue because this is going to become a joke.
Yep. And a LeBron.
I was about to say this is the only risk you run of this being a joke if the Lakers just for any reason, like if AD falls apart, look, they're gonna joke you out of the room about winning a championship and then AD not making it to the end of the season. At least y'all won one championship, right? Like there's just these jokes are gonna write themselves.
LeBron became the first in-season tournament MVP. He said he was talking to Rich Paul, his agent, and basically they said, you've done a lot of things, but you've never been the first to do something in terms of the first to win something. So, he's never been to a Final Four, which is why LeBron apparently was taking this like real serious because this was his Final Four. And he ended up winning the MVP. Of course, they got all these highlights of him. He played really well. I hate that the league banned them black jerseys, though. They should have won in the black jerseys. So shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to LeBron. I don't know what this means, though, other than you won 500. I don't know if I hang a banner for this. That's basically what I'm getting to. I don't know if I hang a banner for this.
You gotta finish the drill here. And yeah, I do think that this will probably end up being the LeBron James in-season tournament MVP trophy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be his trophy, which kind of, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like it because you have a trophy named after you, but it's like for the championship, that's not really a championship too.
Yeah. I did like Tyrese Halliburton's offer about it because some people still didn't take it seriously, and he said some people still don't believe that it's a relevant tournament other than for the money for the players to get them to play. It's like a money grab. And he said, okay, why don't you make the winner of the tournament get an automatic playoff spot? Now that was interesting because more than likely, unless there's no team that's not going to be in the playoff run, it's not going to win the in-season tournament. Like Washington was never going to win the in-season tournament. Not this year.
Correct.
San Antonio. What's the other teams that's 1-42? Washington, San Antonio, and
the Pistons.
The Pistons
1-49.
You wouldn't have to worry about them winning to get an automatic playoff berth because they're awful. So I mean, I get it when you say that. I just don't know where the seeding would happen.
So I feel two different ways about this. First way that I feel is I don't think that you should be able to get into the playoffs for having a good half a season. But if you really look at it, realistically, if you win the play-in tournament, you're probably going to the playoffs anyway. And if you're going to the playoffs anyway, then nothing really changes. But I definitely don't think that you should get it for winning an in-season tournament. You could essentially, what happens if, all right, well, we won the in-season tournament, we in the playoffs, we're done. Just especially if I'm the Lakers. All right, well, I'll just let AD and LeBron put him in the fridge. See, bubble this thing out. I'll see y'all at the playoffs.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
Specifically that team. Oh, AD, take a couple weeks off. Go get some rest.
Don't even worry about it.
Call you
Wrap yourself in bubble wrap and don't leave your house. Yeah, man. So, but it was, I will say the in-season tournament for the most part was a success. Tyrese Halliburton, he is already a rising star. He pretty much has arrived after this in-season tournament. He is here to stay. The Lakers and LeBron and AD played well. I really don't remember anybody else the Pelicans played okay. They're getting healthy.
All of the games were good. All of the games were good, minus the Bucks beat the hell out of the Knicks. But like I had a bunch of people be upset, like, "Oh, I hate this in-season tournament." I was like, "Well, you got good basketball when you typically."
That was the point of it, because you were gonna get people sitting out anyway. So
exactly. So you achieved that. Now was that like the Knicks just played the Bucks, but the Bucks didn't miss a shot. Giannis and Dame just weren't missing. So, like, what did they win by? Maybe like 15 points in the end? Yeah, but sometimes a good game is just watching one team not miss shots for a half. That's amazing to watch. Like, they just put on a masterclass. Now, the Lakers and the Pelicans, the Lakers boat raced the Pelicans, but they boat raced one of the most interesting players in the NBA. Like, now you have a whole new docket of things to talk about. Zion not being in shape for, which is kind of like a big situation, which was probably his first big situation.
That's gonna be ugly.
That he just wasn't prepared for. He looked fat and out of shape. Like,
and they said he's ignoring. That's the part. Oh, that was a part about the press conference with him and B.I. that I wanted to. I forgot. He looked big in that press conference. He looked overweight in that press conference. He looked like that Mountain Dew commercial. He was sitting on the couch. He looked like a potato. He is big as hell. He needs it.
I told y'all this since day one, and this is one. This is a hill I'm gonna die on when I say I told you so. Nothing about him when he came into the league said that I'm going to be a workout warrior. And that's one of those things that's an ingrained thing in you. You have to be.
Giannis didn't have. I don't know about that one now. You don't know who's going to be a workout warrior and who's not going to be when you come in the league.
Let me finish. So, all right, and that was going to be my next point. You're a young player, so all right, you might not be a workout warrior. But now it's time to give him another contract. And at least you should, by the time that it's time for me to give you this big brick of money, you should now take this thing serious and be like, all right, I'm going to get in shape like Giannis did. Okay, I need to be stronger. I need to be bigger. I need to be more physical. So it clicked for him. I turned it on. I invested in my body. Now look at me. Zion got his money. Y'all paid him and didn't make him get in shape first. Well, now he has the money and he doesn't have the habits to just work out hard. So nobody gets fat and in shape. I mean, nobody gets rich and
I'm listening. Keep going. I forgot about Eminem. I'm about to look her up. Go ahead.
It's not skinny and happy. It's fat and happy. And now he's fat, happy, and rich. And I told y'all should have traded him for Julius and a first. Y'all could have had a first-round pick. Y'all could have had Julius, who's consistently playing well and playing well again. And y'all could have been well on to a good season and a future. Now you got this money tied up in Zion. And who on Zion? And I know you say he scored 25 points, but what else does he do? He doesn't rebound well. He gets you 3 or 4 assists, and he don't play no defense.
They killing Zion on Twitter. They said he went from being fat to messing with Mariah Mills to back to being fat again.
His wife, his lady pregnant. What you expect? You know how that go.
It is what it is. But I will say overall, his money can buy fitness. I will say overall that
have you been to Instagram? Not him, but all.
I would say the in-season tournament was a success for real. It definitely was a success. After the in-season tournament, you still had other basketball, and for the first time, we saw Jaylen Brown and the Celtics get ejected playing against the Knicks in the fourth quarter because he said that wasn't a foul. And of course, there's always been a lot of jaw jacking back and forth between players and referees. He's basically arguing his point. And the thing about Jaylen Brown is he never ever gets out of character. He never ever loses. He's not the one to go at the refs and lose it like that. He went on to say, I always thought my first career ejection would be something a little more exciting, guys tossing up, throwing to the ground, fighting or something, not over some over emotional ref who had a bad day. What I'm most upset about is I should have gotten my fucking money's worth. And he's right. The ref basically threw him out. It was kind of like a Tim Duncan thing, except for Tim Duncan didn't do nothing. But Jaylen Brown was on the bench after he got the first technical, and the ref went back over to him and threw him out of the game. And that's where he kind of went off.
Now, it's tricky because these refs do have to get better.
Yeah, they're awful.
They are too sensitive. And congratulations, Zion. They're too sensitive. They're too big a part of the game. You just can't. They're no fun leaguing the NBA. If I'm not talking to you, I gotta have a place to voice my frustration out here on the court. As long as I don't say nothing crazy sideways. But, it's just the referees have been too much in this season. Now, unfortunately, we got the other end where your boy, he pointing at a referee after the game and got hit. Yeah, got hit with that $25,000 fine. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's too far. Like, you can't. He was like right there in the.
He hit him.
I was like, bro, like, you borderline, like, you lucky that they didn't sit you down for a couple games. Then tonight he just got ejected again, and like I told you, he called the referee a ban. And
that's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
And not whenever you're Trae Young and every camera in there is going to be fixated on your face. Yeah. So I mean, the referees play a part in this. I think the referees deserve the lion's share of the responsibility on this. It's way too many
it was a bad call.
Of the wrong people get, like DeAndre Hunter got ejected. Man, don't say nothing. I've been following him his entire career. I don't think I've ever heard him speak at length ever.
He don't say much.
So a lot of this is the referees.
Yeah, they do got to be better. I've always told y'all, I expect when you have referees, I don't understand why you have players. I mean, I do understand because you pay them millions of dollars. But you have players that are held to a standard and they have to always come and answer for their actions and answer for their mistakes, answer for whatever. Why don't you have the referees come and they interview them? When they interview the refs, it's not on camera. It's not about speaking. They get a quote from them, and they get a quote from them, and the refs be like, "Well, this is the rule," and they broke the rule. And then you be like, "Well, why didn't you call?" Like Kadarius Toney, why didn't you call it the other 4 times? I can't speak to that. And it's like, well, and you don't have to. Refs never have to answer for their mistakes, and I think that's where the game should evolve to next. If you make the refs answer for their mistakes, I guarantee you the referee will get better. Guarantee you, umpire, referee, and judging, whatever you want to call them, in every sport, that will get better when they have to explain their mess up.
The referees just have had too big of a spot this year. You got the whole Scott Foster, Chris Paul thing. Like you're there in the same way that the field is there or the ball is there. Like you're supposed to be an extension of the game. You're not supposed to be the focus of a game. And to me, the referees
are supposed to be invisible. Refs are supposed to be invisible.
Yep. And they're too visible. Way too visible.
Yep. All right. But yeah, last topic. We're gonna ask a question. It started off in the world. Shout out to our channel. You need to join. We're gonna start an Instagram channel called The World because there's a lot of people that want to join. Where we have our discussions. Y'all are our pre-production group. Most improved player in the NBA. Right now, it's Tyrese Maxey. Number 2 is Halliburton. 3 is Sengun. 4 is Scotty Barnes. 5 is Jalen Johnson from the Hawks. I said I would pick Jalen Johnson. One, I'm a homer, but I don't know. I mean, to me, Maxey and Halliburton were already established players. To me, like especially Halliburton. Like y'all were talking about Halliburton last year, so I mean, I guess it's probably I know it's most improved in terms of stats, and I know that Tyrese Maxey because James Harden is out of there and he is the number 2 option. And they ain't really got no other option. He is playing out of this world. And of course, Alfred Sengun just keeps getting better every year. That's Norwood's guy. He's been saying it. We are not throwing in Jalen Suggs, Sneaky. We are not throwing in Jalen Suggs. Not to this one.
He hooping though, but no, this is just not that conversation. Not this time. I think that you got to put Halliburton there, and the reason, and you're right, he was really good last season. He's been good since he's been in the NBA, but he's now in a place. I mean, he has so many like 13 assist games, 0 turnovers.
Yeah, that's the thing that's crazy with him, and I think that's where it's hard to argue against it. It's hard to be plus 15 every game in the assist column. That's like being plus 30 every game. Every game.
Your turnover, like 13 assists, no turnovers alone. I don't care if you score no points, puts you in elite category. So him doing this, and now I will say, you got everybody. I suggest you watch the Pacers play for yourself. You're probably gonna hate it. I did. They don't play any defense. They're going to let you score. They're going to get it out of the net, and they're going to run as hard as they can to score points.
Jalen Suggs is the heart and soul of the Magic, Sneaky?
Probably so.
I will say about Halliburton, though, I mean, he has the greenest of green lights. He shot a couple of them threes against the Lakers. I was like, dude, what are you doing? But before I'm about to say he be making them. But when he miss them, he be missing bad. But, I mean, 15 assists, 13 assists, 12 assists, 1 turnover, 0 turnovers, 0 turnovers. Like, at that point, it's almost like you can't stop me. There's nothing that you can do. The Lakers did, though. Lakers, hey, I'm going to say this, too, and you're going to hate it because we gave them chance after chance. But the player that we're missing, the player that we need is a Cam Reddish-type player, a wing defensive player. And I think Cam has accepted his role with the Lakers. But putting Cam in there, Jared Vanderbilt on Halliburton really bothered the Pacers. What are you doing?
I'm looking at Saquon. The turf monster tackled him. Now I'm wondering if they're going to say that since nobody touched him, that this might be a fumble. We shall see. But I love Cam Reddish. You know, I told y'all, 2K22, he is the best player on the game as far as I'm concerned. But one thing about Cam is we gave him, like you said, we've given him every opportunity with the Hawks. He's been given multiple opportunities. He will play good in spots because he's a 6'8" wing who can dribble a little bit, who can shoot a little bit, who can play defense. But he never gets into a place where he can be a consistent running. I mean, excuse me, I'm looking at Saquon. Where he can be a consistent NBA starter. I'm happy for him, and I hope that the Lakers provide him with that opportunity. But I think that Rui is a better basketball player. I'd rather have Rui at the 3 than Cam Reddish. I just don't trust him. I've watched him his whole career, and I constantly seen him fade to black.
That's a fumble. Wow, they better lose this game because of that. Yep. But, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of we've come to the end of episode 132 of the Splashcast. The Around the League edition, Monday Night Raw. We had the pregame. We talked about HBCU news around the culture, football, and basketball. Nora, if we didn't miss anything, take us out.
Take us out. That's his 3rd career fumble ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of wild. Saquon been in the league a long time, man. Now he sat out a bunch of years, but still 3 fumbles is shit. Some folks had 3 fumbles in a game. And somehow the Titans and the Dolphins are still in a dogfight. But of course, thank you guys for rocking with us again on this Monday Night Raw. We are counting down the end. We're getting closer to the end of college football. I mean, the end of pro football. We will be picking bowl games this weekend, I think.
We start.
So yeah, we'll do that this weekend. Basketball is starting to warm up here. We're gonna see. I think we're gonna start seeing trades here pretty soon, as teams decide what they're gonna do as we made it through the first quarter of the season. So number one, more black baseball, more black baseball, more black baseball. Number two, more black cowboys and cowgirls. And number three, the one that really matters the most, historically black college university that your cousin went to, your auntie went to, you went to, the person who used to laugh and kiki in the back of church. Send some money over there. Historically black college university in your neighborhood, the one that you go to for step shows, homecoming, just to kick it, to be around your people. Send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the one that gave me a degree, gave Reggie a degree, continue to elevate and be the standard of excellence, the Hampton University. We only ask for $18.68 on behalf of that our beloved school was founded. Make that out to the school on behalf of the Splashcast. We would truly, truly appreciate that. Outside of that, thank you guys for rocking with us. I'll do a little bit more work on this Splashcast. It may be 24. It may be 36. It may be 24. We still figuring on what we can figure. And yeah, look forward to the music on Wednesday. Outside of that, adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we see y'all again, y'all be safe.
Peace. We out of here. Remember, like, follow, subscribe. Love y'all. Stay safe. See y'all Saturday.
Peace. This is the Splashcast weekly schedule. You can find us on Monday Night Raw. That is the Around the League edition, where we cover all of the major leagues around the league. Tuesday is the ATL edition, Braves, Falcons, Hawks. Wednesday is when the playlist comes out. It's a Splashcast 24, 12, or 36 pack, just depending on the music. Thursday, for everybody who was not able to catch us live on Monday, they can catch up there on the Around the League edition. And then Saturday, of course, we bet beers for Saturday Morning Live. If you ever need to find us, we can be found at thesplashcast.com. And of course, via Instagram at thesplashcast.
Stop it right now. Friends, they like it better when you're down. Let's not talk about it. It's just you and me. And I just wanna pull up the Maybach and bend your leg back. Please obey that. Don't delay that. My love, why lie? Been a shy guy all of my life. We should change that. Pull up the Maybach and bend your leg back. Let's engage that. Don't delay that. You're like a needle. Life's a haystack. Friends, they can leave, but you could stay back.
I could stay back, I could take that. Calm and lay back, on our way back. Make a movie, watch the playback. Nah, don't save that, I don't play that. Penny whining. I rap really wanna taste the icing. Jalapy, give me my team. Commission for the game that I be providing. I was in Trinidad, let us consider that. Immigrants who a boss, bitches bitter and mad. Hopping out like a cork, ducking them like Bjork. Bitches get out of line, I get them with them talk. I tell them send a jet, a Valentino drip. See like the way it grip, my hips cupping my breath.